You don't need another tool. You don't need more information to get you to your goal. What you need is a system that is going to be sustainable for you, that you can actually stick to and commit to in order to keep the momentum flowing and for you to finally make progress towards the things that you want in your life. If you're like me, you've probably tried 6 different planners, you've tried 3 or 4 different apps just this month, and every time a new productivity method shows up on your feed, you're like, yep, save. Gotta try that one. You're always thinking in the back of your mind, maybe this is it. Maybe this time it'll work. And unfortunately, it never does. That's why you're here. If you are exhausted by trying to find the perfect system that is going to get you to the results that you have been waiting for so long, that you have been working towards, that you have been starting over and over and over to try and get to for so long. If you are tired of that, this episode is for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tony Robinson. I help high-achieving women create sustainable success systems that actually stick so that they can create a life that actually serves them. Today, I'm going to be talking about how you can choose and commit to one system, one approach that actually gets you results. It's going to work for your brain, for your schedule, and your energy, especially if you're in a season of feeling like you're being pulled in a million different directions. So if all of that sounds interesting to you, I hope you'll stick around and let's get into it. The first thing that we need to address here is why it feels productive to keep seeking more productivity tools, more planners, to keep trying different systems. Number one, you get a dopamine hit whenever you try something new. Anytime you feel like you're recommitting to your goals and you are trying something fresh that you feel really excited about, your body is responding to dopamine. You are getting this false sense of motivation and excitement that actually isn't due to you having more motivation or more dedication to your goal. It's just a response to being excited about having new information or having a new tool. It's just like shopping. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this new shirt I got. But like once you wear it once, it wears off. You aren't very excited about it anymore. So just because something feels productive initially doesn't mean that it's going to be productive for you long term. You really need to take your time deciding what your system and what your process is going to be to achieve your goals in a sustainable way, rather than always trying to look for these quick fixes, these quick motivational pops of energy. We don't need that. The second reason it feels productive is because you've convinced yourself that you haven't found the perfect product yet. And once you find the perfect product or the perfect app or the perfect planner, then you will be successful. That's not true. You will be successful when you decide that you are going to be successful. You will be successful when you commit to a system, to a structure, to a habit of working towards your goal. You will not be successful by constantly trying to buy new planners and trying to find new products or trying all of these different things, or having systems in all these different areas. Like maybe you plan certain things on your calendar and then you put certain things on a to-do list that's on paper, and then maybe you have one Notion template for like your meal planner, but nothing is cohesive. Nothing actually works together. That is why your brain is so confused and so jumbled. You have to think so hard about where to find the information that you need to reference. You have to think so hard to find the information that you need to be executing on, the things that are important to you. You don't even write down. You think that just because you want something, it's going to be at the forefront of your mind. No. Everything that you have on your calendar, everything that you're committing to, everything that you are putting down as a priority, that is going to come first. If you are not scheduling your goals as part of your structure, as part of your weekly scheduling system, you are never going to get to them, because they aren't being prioritized. All of that leads me to point number 3, which is that all of these different systems that you have, or different processes, different planners, different templates, whatever you are tracking, everything that you've got going on, or whether you're tracking it or not, it's just causing mental clutter. You are in mental chaos right now because you don't have a structured approach to your goals, to your weekly schedule, to your commitments. You don't know where everything is. You don't know where everything should go. You don't have a combined, cohesive system, and that is keeping you in your mental chaos. All right, step number 2. How do you know what system to actually commit to? How do you know when it's the one? The first thing you need to ask yourself, and if you haven't seen my things to know before you use Notion video, this might be a really helpful place for you to start. I'll link it down below. But you need to ask yourself, what do you actually need right now? What do you need help with right now? Where are you struggling? Where are things falling short? Where are things feeling chaotic? What are you not getting to? What is missing? What's feeling like it's sucking energy from you? Do you need help with clarity? Do you need like an organizational system? Do you need help with follow through and accountability? Do you need help with scheduling? Do you know how to actually plan things on your calendar in a way that is going to serve your energy, your needs, and also keeps you moving forward towards the things that you want in your life? Next, you need to choose a simple but flexible system. You need to be able to know exactly what's in front of you and be honest with yourself about how much you have going on. And then you need to be able to categorize those things by what do I need? What is it? What is like the biggest priority for me right now? What do I need to do? What can I delay and plan for later? And then what can I just like get rid of? And what can I delegate to other people, whether it's in your family or maybe it's people at work? What can you get rid of so that you don't even have to worry about those things anymore? And then number 3 on how to know what system to stick with and how to choose the right system for you, you need to stop building your life around a specific tool or around a specific app. Instead, you need to build an app that works for your life. This is one of the reasons why I really gravitated towards Notion and stuck with it, because I was able to customize it so much for my own needs. I have been able to tweak things over time and make them work for myself. It started out as this process where I would, maybe track things here and there. I would fill in my monthly to-do list and my calendar and all of that, but over time I realized what I actually needed from this tool and what I actually needed for my life to be supported by this tool. And so then I started adding automations. I started creating buttons for myself that would make things super quick. I have things that are recurring every single month in my projects because I know that I need to communicate with you guys, or I have certain things that I need to get done on Mondays, on Tuesdays, on Thursdays. So I have checklists that auto generate. I have habits that I track on a daily basis that auto generate every single day. I realized what I actually needed out of my life. And this took time, you guys. It's a process of building your own system, but the more you can commit to one thing, the more you will start to realize what you need out of that thing and whether that thing can actually provide what you need or not. But if you don't stick with it, you're never going to get the benefits out of it. So when you go into asking yourself, is this tool going to work for me? Is this planner going to work for me? You really need to be asking yourself, does it fit into your life? Does it support what your life needs? Or are you trying to fit yourself in a circle when you're a square? I don't know, whatever the saying is. You know what I'm talking about. Moving on. Okay, the next step in choosing a system that is actually going to work for you to alleviate this mental chaos. This one doesn't actually have to do with the system, but your mindset around how much you have going on. If you have more than 2 or 3 goals that you are working on at a time, you have too many. You are going to be spread way too thin. If you are overwhelmed and at capacity already, your focus really does not need to be on adding more to your plate. However, I understand the need for constant growth, the desire to up level and constantly be better and achieving more. I totally get that. You aren't giving up on your dreams just because you are lessening what you're working on or because you're narrowing your focus to just one goal at a time. You are actually giving yourself the best opportunity to accomplish all of them by focusing only on 1 to maybe 2 at a time. So when you are in a season of overwhelm and you have a ton of goals that you really want to accomplish in your life, which is probably never going to go away if you are a high achiever, the best thing that you can do for yourself is take an inventory of which goals are going to make the biggest impact on your life right now. What would make the biggest change for you? What would create the biggest positive shift in your life? Choose 1, 2 max. That's my max for most people, is 1 to 2, because the moment that you start to add more to your plate, you don't realize, okay, I have 2 goals that I'm working on. But do you know how much it takes to get to those goals? Saying I'm working on losing weight, like, yes, losing weight is one goal, but do you know the steps and the time commitment that it takes to get to that one goal? Have you even broken things down into milestones yet? Do you know how long it takes to build a habit and build that mental muscle of, this is something that I do as a lifestyle, not just a one-time thing that I need to do? If you narrow your focus, you will ultimately widen the amount of things that you will accomplish, because you are not spreading yourself so thin at any given time. So what is a priority right now for the season that you're in? Look at the different areas of your life, the different goals that you have, and decide which one is going to make the biggest impact on my life right now. And then you need to break that goal down into milestones. You need to think of every single step that you possibly can of what it's going to take to get to that goal. Every single little step. I've got another video, actually a few, that I've talked about how to create milestones and how I break those things down. I actually just did my monthly planning session last week, or yeah, I think last week. So you can reference back to that if you want to create an entire plan for yourself and know how to break down those milestones. But anyway, once you break down those milestones, then you can really get a good picture at how much it's going to take to get to this goal. And then you can effectively plan for each of those steps. You can start to add those things to your calendar. You can start to build habits that are supportive of that goal, of those milestones, so that it becomes easy. It becomes a lifestyle. It just becomes second nature for you to accomplish the things that you want in your life. And then tip number 4 for choosing a system that is actually going to work for you when you are in extreme overwhelm. You need to make time for your system. This is one of the hardest parts that I had to overcome getting into using Notion. Notion is amazing, was amazing in the beginning, but it was not a habit for me. It was not something I was used to doing. I did not regularly have a plan for my week, for my month. I did not have an organizational system like Notion. I had to practice using Notion. I had to schedule time on my calendar and actually commit to using Notion. If I had not done that, I would not be where I am right now, and I would not be successful in using the tool that I chose. You have to actually commit to your system. You need to put on your calendar, meeting with myself for 1 hour to go through your system, to plan for your system, to organize your system, to make sure that you are making adjustments and tweaks where they need it. You need to make sure that you are reviewing the information that you're adding to your system. I track all of my personal projects, my professional projects, my ideas that I have, my goals. I have to go through and filter those things out and make sure that I'm not forgetting them. I have a process for these things. And if you don't make it a habit to go into whatever tool you're using or whatever process you're using, whether it's digital or physical, paper, whatever, if you don't have a structure and a system for constantly reviewing and refining and updating and so on and so forth, it will not work. It will never work. If you don't use it, it's not going to work. So make sure that you are blocking off time to commit to not only using your system, but refining it as well. All right, you guys, that is what I have for us today. I hope that this was helpful. If you are in a season of overwhelm and you are like, I just need some relief at this point, I need a starting point, I have a free Overwhelm to Action blueprint linked down below. It's my 3-step system to bring you out of the overwhelm and start gaining momentum towards the things that you need to do in your life to create the life that you actually want. It walks you through how to do a complete brain dump and clear that chaos and that clutter out of your head. It walks you through how to categorize everything that you have going on into the do, delay, delegate piles. And then the final step is walking you through building that momentum to start taking steps towards the things that you want. It is really, really helpful for starting the process small, building the sustainable system for yourself. And you can repeat this as often as you'd like. This can be a daily process that you do. This can be something that you you come back to weekly. This is something that I do every single week. I brain dump everything. I categorize everything. I put things in the categories that they need and I put them on my calendar, or I do them, or I get rid of them completely. I do this system myself, and I have no doubt that it will be a huge benefit to you as well if you take the steps. If you're interested in the Notion template that I use, I have multiple Notion templates linked down below to help you get started. There's one for just goal tracking, and then I have another one that I use for myself and all of my clients that is essentially an entire life dashboard. It's got everything from health and fitness to a capsule wardrobe to project management to meal planning to goal tracking to, I mean, literally everything that you can possibly think of, there is a template for, and it's all in one place. It's all interconnected. It is my lifeline. It is my second brain. It is my external hard drive. I would not be where I am today without it. So I will link that down below as well if you're interested. Thank you so much, as always, for being here today. I truly hope that this episode was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button so that I know to make more videos like this. I'm wishing you so much success on your week ahead. And until next time, take care.